Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. This is David, your tour guide in Israel.
Hi, welcome.
Today we are in Jerusalem in the Israel Museum, so join us for this wonderful tour. This is our second video in the Israel Museum, so if you haven't seen the first one, there'll be a link. This video we're going to go inside the building to the archaeology department. I'm going to choose 7 items, the ones that I feel passionate about. This way you can tour the Israel Museum Archaeology Department with me at the comfort of your home. Okay, ready?
Let's
go. Okay, the first item I want to show you in the archaeology department of the Israel Museum is from the prehistoric times, from days before writing was invented, prehistory. This collection of metal objects made out of copper were found by accident in a cave in the Judean desert in Nahal Mishmar, the Mishmar cave. The professor, Pesach Baradon, was actually searching for scrolls, but instead of scrolls, what he found was a sack made out of straw. See the sack? Here, this is a photograph of how it was found in the cave, in a straw sack, and look at all the metal objects. Nearly 500 metal objects. Look at them. Little balls made out of metal. A scepter with heads of ibex, yelim. Crowns that you could put on your head, vessels to put in liquid. Now, why is that so amazing? This is 5,000 years old, and the period is called Chalcolithic period. Chalkos means copper, lithic, stone, the copper stone period. So in the cave, in the Judean desert, a people we know nothing about, who could not write about who they are, stashed away a sack of their treasures and forgot it in the cave for 5,500 years. Now we're in the gallery of the Canaanite period. Canaanite period from the 3rd millennia to the 2nd millennia BC. So we read in the Bible that Ha'Kanaani az ba'aretz, the Canaanites are in the land. So the Canaanites were not just some imaginary individuals. These were peoples, nations living here, and all these items were found in the excavations of Canaanite sites. For instance, the shrine of the stela in Chatzor. Look at the center stela with 2 hands praying to like a moon or a sun. Lion sculptures that were placed side by side, and they were protecting the entrance to the palace of Chatzor. 2 lions playing, and here 2 lions playing. This was found in Bet She'an. The Canaanites were in the land. Now we're standing in front of one of the most exciting items ever found in Israel. It's a rock made out of basalt with writing on it. See it? This was found in the excavations at Tel Dan in the north of Israel. This was part of a victory monument built by one of our enemies, Hazael Melech Aram, Hazael the king of Aram. So he defeated his enemies, which were our ancestors, the house of David, and he wrote a victory description that was broken and found in the ruins of Tel Dan. So let's read it together. It says that King Hazael, he killed Yehoram, son of Achav, king of Israel, and killed Achaziahu, son of Yehoram, of the house of David. So why is this so important? This is the first time ever the name David and the name Bet David, the house of David, is written on a document outside of the Bible. Like, you could have argued before they found this that the whole story of David and King David and the house of David, it's a myth. We made it up. It's just a story. But when they find the name House of David on an inscription that was written by an enemy, a foreigner, what does he care? This was found in an archaeological site, 10th century BC. It fits the dates. This is beyond important. It is one of the most important finds. The House of David. Oh, are you interested to know the oldest biblical document ever found in the world, ever? This is the story of that biblical document. It was found in a burial cave in Jerusalem that looked very similar to this. So one of these caves was found complete in Jerusalem, in Ketef Hinom. The roof collapsed and covered the whole thing. When they are excavating this tomb, they find a tiny little object about that size and open it up. It looks like a little scroll made out of silver. And then they open it up, it's here in front of you, and there's tiny little writing on it. See the words carved into it's an amulet, a little tiny silver amulet. Someone would wear it on your neck. It turns out that this is the priestly blessing from the book of Numbers. Ketef Hinom, Jerusalem, late 7th century BC. This is 600 years before the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now this is the oldest biblical scripture ever found in an archaeological site. These two silver amulets bear the oldest copies of biblical texts known to us today. Yivachecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. The Lord bless you and protect you. The Lord deal kindly and graciously with you. The Lord bestow his favor upon you and grant you peace. Numbers 6:24. Let's take a closer look at the amulets. Madhim, huh? Amazing, huh? These items were found around the excavations of the Second Temple. This is the Temple Mound, as it was back in the 1st century, Bet HaMikdash, the royal portico, and the retaining walls. And these items were all found in the excavations around this building. This inscription in Greek was part of the rail that was on top of the Temple Mount and was the limit of how far a foreigner can enter. This stone was found on the corner of the southwestern wall on the floor. It fell, it was pushed down, and it says in Hebrew, Lebet Hatkiya Mashu, okay, the place of the trumpeting. Yeah, you can see how the priest would stand on the corner and blow the trumpet to announce the Shabbat. Son of the high priest, HaKohen HaGadol. So maybe this was the location of the Kohen HaGadol. These are the half a shekel coins that were used as the tax to pay, each pilgrim would pay to go to the temple. This is an ossuary, a box where they kept the bones of the deceased. And here it says, the builder of the temple, Boneh HaHechal. Boneh HaHechal, okay? Here. The ossuary of Simon, builder of the temple. Shimon Boneh HaHechal. So these are all objects that are connected directly to Herod's temple, the second temple of Jerusalem. What? The site, Masada. Usually we tour Masada and we see the ruins of the site without seeing items that were found. Here is an opportunity to see a few of the items. For instance, we can see hair of the women of the rebels hiding in the mountain. We can see their sandals, a comb. This is in the northern palace of Masada. They found scales of a Roman soldier. Okay, and they found the weapons, the large rocks and the small rocks, and they found coins with the shekel. See the shekel coin. The Roman general who led the war against the Jews in the Great Revolt, his name was Vespasian. So here we have a milestone with his name, Vespasian Caesar. 70 years after the Great Revolt, in the year 132 to 135, the Judeans launch a second revolt. We call this Mered Bar Kokhba, their Bar Kokhba revolt. Rome send their generals to suppress the second revolt, and they send this general, Hadrian. All over Europe, Hadrian is adored. But for us, Hadrian is the arch enemy, the biggest enemy, because he crushed the Bar Kokhba revolt in a very cruel way. some of the rebels fought back, others went to hiding in the caves. And in one of the caves, they found these incredible things: sandals, knives, keys, straw sacks. See the straw sack with knives and jars, a woman's mirror, and a purse. See that purse over there? And inside the purse, they found letters, documents. The documents belong to this woman here, Babatha. All her financial and legal documents were found in that purse, and they shed light on the life of this amazing woman who lived by the Dead Sea, ran away in the war and to hide in the cave, and probably didn't make it out of the cave. But her documents are still alive, and they tell us all the story of her and her family. How was the museum tour?
Very interesting, and especially because of the great guide we had.
Yay!
Tomer, how was the museum? Boring, so boring.
We have a wonderful museum. Really, it's one of the most beautiful museums in the world. And we only saw a tiny part of the museum, just the archaeology. But we also have art, we have judaica. So I really hope you all enjoyed this tour of the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. So if you did, please give me a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel and write a comment and let me know where you'd like to go on our next tour of wonderful Israel. Bye everyone, take care, shalom shalom,